All right, artist, for week 2, we're going to do the same thing with the background. And so each shape is going to get colored in, and that is going to be the first step, is getting to a point where our whole entire paper is colored in. One of the things I wanted you to do last week is not have two shapes next to each other colored in the same color. We'll continue that this week, so I wouldn't use orange. This shape covers my orange and this purple pink, purplish reddish purple color, so I wouldn't want to use either of those colors in this shape down here, because then it would be the same color next to each other and it would be more difficult to see that this area was broken up into its own space. So to start coloring in the entire background, each time I get to a closed line or closed shape, I will switch colors until the background is completely colored in. All right, now I have both the object and the background filled in, and I have two more things to do to make my picture complete. One, in Romero Britto's artwork, he has very bold black lines. That's part of his style, is really being able to see the shapes and the outlines and the dividing lines. So the first thing I'm going to do is either get my black marker or crayon or whatever coloring material you made, and I'm going to darken and thicken all of my black lines. So I'm just going over them again, kind of going back and forth, just making it a little bit thicker and a bit darker. That's going to make them stand out more. So each section is very clearly defined once I do this. The other thing that we're going to do to finish it up is introduce some patterns into some of the sections. So we could make patterns using lines, or we could use patterns, create patterns using repeated shapes. So I'm going to pick some of my lighter colors. If I try to make a pattern on top of this purple, it's going to be very difficult to see because purple is already such a dark color. The black might show up on top of it okay, but if I pick a color to put on top of the yellow or the lighter blue or the orange or the light green, it's going to be a much easier to get my crayon or my marker. You'll really be able to see the darker or deeper color over top of a lighter color. So first we need to find some areas that are in general lighter than other parts of the picture, and then we're going to create a pattern in those. So inside this pink shape, I could create a pattern of purple polka dots. Now that's going to make this shape kind of stand out a little bit and look different, because it has a pattern on top of it and all of the other ones right now are plain. So this creates some emphasis in this specific part of the artwork. Now it also kind of makes this block relate to this block because the purple is the same color. So the purple of the polka dots is the same color that's next door. We only need to add this pattern to 3 to 5 different sections. So pick ones that aren't right next to each other, or at least you wouldn't want to do, say, these 4, because then half of your artwork would have patterns and half of it wouldn't. So kind of like a hopscotch, maybe here, 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 or here, 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 right? So kind of skipping around to where I could put my next pattern. So here I have this. I think my dark blue, yep, shows up on top of the light blue. So I can make a diagonal stripe. I could make my stripes wide and far apart. I could make them wide and close. I could make them thin and far apart. That's kind of what I've done here. My diagonal lines are fairly thin and there's a lot of space in between them. So there's a pattern, and I need to find at least one more spot. I think this area or this area would be good, because then I'll have like kind of a triangle, 3 different areas that would be drawing my eye. So I am going to pick this one, and it's like a medium to dark color, so I'm actually going to use a very, well, sorry, I'm having trouble making up my mind, my goodness. I will go ahead and use black in there. So I think I'm going to put some black triangles. So I'm repeating the shape of a triangle. Here I repeated the shape of a circle to make polka dots. These are like polka triangles, right? So a repeated shape. If you wanted to do one more, that would be fine, but this is starting to look balanced. It looks even, it looks complete, right? I've considered all the different areas of my artwork. I've paid attention to all of them and done my best coloring, covered up all the white of the paper, and then added a few areas of emphasis with my details. I have made the black lines bold and thick. And now my artwork is complete. I cannot wait to see your beautiful creations.